Hello and welcome to my channel. Okay, yeah, I got on my little wrinkled shirt and everything, but that's all right because you know what? Don't nobody have to see me but me. Anyway, and you. So I want to thank you guys. This is an advantage of, being at home. So anyway, before I get started on this topic, and what I need you to do is I need you to subscribe to my channel, go to my link, hit the notification, and then go ahead and enjoy. Okay, so I feel like I can come to y'all real. I ain't gotta, I'm at home. I'm in my, I got my pajamas on. I got on my hangout shirt. So I really don't have to, I want this to be like personal, one-on-one. I don't want you to feel like, I'm putting up airs or anything. Before I start, I want to disclaim that I'm not an attorney and I do not give legal advice. So let's get into this topic. A lot of people do not know what bilking is. It's a legal term when an attorney know that you don't have a lot of evidence or significant evidence in a case, but what they do is they will bilk you. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be rich. It happens in corporations. It happens in small business. It just happened. They just bilk you. And the reason why they bilk you is because they know they don't have a case, but they're going to try to seem like you got this big, huge case. You got them, but they got to, you got to keep paying them and paying them. My sister was in an auto accident where the guy was at fault, but she got the ticket and she went to court and fought it. She did. She went to court and fought it. And I'm like, okay, 3 years later, I'm sitting up here, we talking to her and she's still in court. I said, well, what's going on? She said, oh, my lawyer is trying to get documents from the other party and he been, I said, how much you and paid him? Oh, I paid him about $3,000. Wait a minute. I don't get it. No, he could go to court and ask for that. He don't have to keep begging the other party to give that. That's what they call discovery. He could have just filed. Explained to her. He could have just filed for a discovery, and if he didn't, then he asked for the judge to give him a motion to compel for discovery. And then if he don't do that, he could have asked for sanctions. So that's what he could have did. But I said, you sitting up there, she didn't know. She don't know, and a lot of people don't know. So, I said, okay, I told her, I said, you need to go, and I told her what to do, and her lawyer figured out that somebody was talking in her ear that had some legal sense, and he did it, and she ended up prevailing, overturning the ticket. Okay, now a lot of attorneys, they sit here and they say, we got to have this down, and unless it's a criminal case, unless it is, then we're not talking about that. We're talking about the civil part, the civil. Okay, so a lot of attorneys, in this case, I'm dealing with escrow. And for those of you who don't know, I'll just tell you again. Got a car online, couldn't find a mechanic. Price was good. Guy told me wasn't nothing wrong with the car. So I didn't want to send it through PayPal or nothing like that. So I went to an escrow company that's out of California called escrow.com. Went there, I talked to them. I told them the situation. And then they do this all the time. I said, well, what if this is a scammer? I don't know if it's a scammer. Don't worry. We got you. We'll protect you. Got the car down here. And I found out that, hey, it was a scam. Oh, Samantha, here we go again. So anyway, instead of them, I produced documents that the motor was going out, the axle was broke. He didn't want the car. He kept saying he wanted the car back, but he made no arrangements to help get the car back. After so many days, escrow gave him my money. So you say, well, a lot of people say, well, you should have sued the seller. Well, yeah, I can. I can. Still can. If I ever find him. Or if I ever find him. So I sued the escrow company because I felt like their misrepresentation of fraud and liability, they were liable because I had proven that it was fraud and it was a risk, and yet they treat it as a regular contract. I later on found out that they're not licensed to do business in my state of Tennessee, so that made it even more interesting. So we sitting up here, we doing all of this, and I filed. They asked for extensions 2 or 3 times to to answer the complaint. Then all of a sudden they answered it, and it was completely different from what I alleged in there. They start saying the summons were wrong, jurisdiction, everything, arbitration. Well, I do want to say this. Now, everything in the United States has arbitration in it, from credit cards to jobs. And the reason why it keeps you from filing, overloading the court system. So they have arbitrations. But you got to realize something. What if the company is not liable to do business in your state, and is the contract legal? So that's what's up between now. The state of Tennessee says no, it's not. So, and the federal court says no, it's not. But escrow.com is trying to challenge that. So since they didn't file a answer of all allegations, I turned around and I filed a default judgment. Now that's a big judgment. So right now they're taking their time doing it, and I understand. I can also file a summary judgment because there's no issues here. So this week, last week I started working on the vehicle. It's been 318 days that it's been sitting up. So with that being said, I started with actual damages. What is actual damages? Damages that are actual pinpoint. I had to get a motor. I had to get a new battery. I had to get a new axle. The axle wasn't really click. It was broke, but it wasn't clicking. But it's been sitting there for a year, so it started clicking when I was taking it to the mechanic. I charged for the labor of the. I put the labor of the mechanic. I had to put, basically, I think I built a new motor. I put a new alternator, starter, water pump, the belt. I put new hoses on it. I put a manifold gasket. I put a new oil pan gasket around it. So, I put new spark plugs, the wire. I got the best spark plugs, but that deals with a used motor that has high mileage, and also has it's being replaced. I put the NGK. Those are the best premium. They give better performance. And no, they didn't sponsor me to do that, but that's what I did, and I replaced it with the wires of that. So I had to get another axle, front axle. I'm looking at new tires. I'm looking at wheel alignment. The list goes on and on. And so I submitted part of that to the district court. And so the the attorney, he'd been sending me these long emails telling me, oh, you know what? You just doing this. We're gonna object to this. The rule says this, and you need to do that, and you not doing this. I asked him. I said, please, I understand your position, but you're not my attorney. Please do not give me any legal advice. Please do not tell me what I can and cannot do. He said okay when we had the conference. He said he was okay. And then he went back and did it again. He said, oh, we're going to object to this. You're sending actual damages for the car and all of that and blah, 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 blah. Okay, so my question is that even though I know that, hey, what are you going to object to? I paid for him. What he's going to object to? So he said, well, we're going to do this and do that. And I said, okay, I got tired of that. I said, in the old South or the new South where I was raised, you had to tell somebody, is fat meat greasy? So I just said, okay, I think he don't think fat meat is greasy. So because he's an attorney here, he got permission to come here to practice law in Tennessee, even though he didn't have to go through the bar or anything, but he had to be, proved. I filed it with the Tennessee's Board of Professional Responsibility. And because he's an attorney in California, I filed with the state bar with the state of California. So now you got 2 charges. And then I use the emails, that them long drawn out emails that he's been sending me, threatening me and all of that, intimidating me and stuff. I just added on with it. So at this point, I haven't heard from him. I haven't heard from him. But that's what it is bilking. When somebody don't have a case against you. It can be a civil. You could be trying to get out of something. And you wondering, well, this should have been an open and shut case. Why is it still going on and on and on and on and on? Attorneys do it in criminal case, but they do it a little bit different. Like, for instance, let's say, for instance, you owe the attorney $15,000. And the judge, it's a you had already provided proof that you didn't do it, or you accepted a plea deal, or whatever that is. And then you turn around and the case is still going on, and the judge is steady continuing it over and over. Every time you go to court, they continue for another 30 days. Oh, they continue to 60 days. Oh, they continue to this. That is what they're doing, is they're continuing it until you pay the attorney off. Then you get the piece of the pie. If you don't pay the attorney off, they're going to continue to do it. Some go as long as 2 years. But that's to ensure that the attorney that's in a criminal case is going to make sure that he gets paid before, and court fees are put on the end. That's not attached. They just want to make sure the attorney is paid. And then you end up getting sentenced, and then you pay the fees and whatever that is. Now, I'm not an attorney when I say this. I'm talking about court procedures, which is different. Court procedures are rules and stuff that establish in the court that you have to go by. Legal advice is when I tell you, okay, do this. I don't give legal advice, but I tell you procedures and how you can find the procedure. Now, back to escrow. Now, like I said, I don't know how long this is going to go on, but, he's getting a little bit upset because, I guess he must have told his client that, that I was going to be a walk in the park. And because a lot of pro se people don't know what to do. They don't know how to protect their rights. They don't know the ins and outs of the courts. The court is not an in and out process. It's a trick game. It's a trick game. And sometimes the same judge is in the trick game. So you have to notice it when something ain't right. That's why I tell everybody, read the rules of the court. The rules of the court will tell you, and read some cases. The rules of the court will tell you if that judge is working with them or against, or impartial. The rules of the court will tell you that, what you need to do and how you need to do it. And if he goes sideways, this is what you can do. But see, if you don't know your rights, I keep saying this, if you don't know your rights, even as an attorney's client, you're going to get messed over. Unless it doesn't matter. A lot of them don't matter if you're giving $1, $10,000. It doesn't matter. It is what it is. So my thing is, I want to know your thoughts. This is kind of a short one. I want to know your thoughts on what you think about this. Now, I'm getting ready to do something else against escrow, because at this point, Rule 56 applies. Rule 55 applies because Rule 55, Federal 55 is the state. It's the same as a state and a federal. Rule 55 means that it's a default judgment. Means that they didn't adequately answer the complaint. Anybody can answer a complaint, but if they ain't answering the allegations that you said that's in the complaint, that's a default. A summary judgment is a 56. That's a state, and that can be used state or federal. And that says that there is no issues, that you improve your case. There is no issue why y'all should be in court. So those are 2 rules. So I thank you guys for watching my video. I thank those who have participated, who have really donated. Thank you so much. Thank you. I hope this video served its purpose. You guys, I'm going to, next week, I'm going to do a video clip from me. I am with the East Ridge Police Department in Tennessee, and I am becoming a citizen police officer. No gun. No, I mean, I'm not gonna go run and shoot up anybody, but it's more of a morale thing, like a neighborhood watch. So I participate in that. And I want you guys to see what I see. And I hope you'll join me. I thank you guys for listening to me. I thank you for supporting my channel. And if, like I said, if you have any comments, I'm going to leave the description below. If you want to donate, continue to donate, because my channel is growing and I'm trying to learn now how to stream so I can, interact with you. I'm trying to do everything, but it's kind of hard at some point. I'm not real techie savvy. So, but I thank you guys, and I thank you, and thank you for watching my channel.